There's no denying that the film look is still very much alive, and while I do love shooting on digital cameras due to endless customization, speed and autofocus, the film look is still something I constantly try to emulate. If I decide to go for this look, I normally edit this in Adobe Lightroom. I have tried other editing apps such as Visco and Dazcam, but I still prefer Lightroom because you can just do so much more there. So about a month ago, a company called Dehancer reached out to me for a review. So if you are interested in this film look but for videos, then I would highly recommend checking that video out. The photo plugin I'm going to review costs $199 and it's available for Adobe Photoshop, Capture One, Affinity, and Adobe Lightroom, which is what I am going to use for this review. They also have a version for your phone, so if you're interested in that, make sure to stay tuned as I will talk about that at the very end of this video. For some reason, I thought this was a plugin you could use directly inside of Lightroom. I don't know if that's even possible, but it was my impression, so I am a bit disappointed by the fact that it is a separate application that opens up. Instead, you use this plugin by right-clicking on your mouse and choosing Edit in the Dehancer Lightroom plugin. This will of course only work if you have the extension already installed to the app. Essentially, every time you want to use this plugin, you need to choose the photo you want edited and this app will open up. When you choose the photo you want to use, a copy is created and you will see the edited file next to the original copy. Another thing to be aware of is that when you finalize your photo and click on that OK button, you cannot go back and change settings later. You will need to start from scratch. This is one of the critiques I have with the app, as it is very time consuming to start all the way from scratch if you want to change your settings, and there should be a way to continue where you left off. First impression of the app itself is that it is simple and straightforward, which holds an important factor. One of the biggest problems I have with the Dehancer plugin, which remains for the video plugin, is that as soon as you open this app, they have selected certain tools that are enabled, and if you don't use them, you need to go and disable all of the tools. I wish there was a way where you can create your own default settings so that the tools that you like and that you use a lot could be applied as a preview to all of your photos every time you open the app. The interface is pretty simple. On the left side you have all the film profiles, on the right side you have all the tools and adjustments, and on the top you have the menu bar, which I actually like more than I would think. The menu bar is simple yet powerful. It only has 3 things you really change between, and it's inspector, zoom and preview. That's all you need. I'm gonna be completely honest and say the only tools you really need are halation, bloom and maybe the film profiles. Yes, they do have several other tools, but a lot of that can just be edited directly inside of Lightroom. I do like the film profiles a lot, especially when I feel stuck and need inspiration. There are so many options, and one thing I forgot to mention is make sure that you have all the film profiles already loaded so that you have access to all of them. Although I have this plugin, I will recommend editing majority of your photo inside of Lightroom. The Dehancer plugin is more of an effect that you add on top of your photo once you have edited that in Lightroom. I think halation makes the biggest difference out of all of these tools. If you don't know what it is, it's basically this red-orange halo in overexposed areas. And I think it's very hard to replicate if you don't have a plugin like Dehancer. I don't even change a lot from the default setting. I pretty much leave it to what it's set at, unless it's so weak where I can't see anything. But I don't like to overdo it, because that would be a bit too much red in my opinion. But yeah, halation is great and you don't need a lot of it, just a tiny bit. And then we have bloom. Bloom is very similar to halation, but instead of red-orange halos, it's just white. Another word for bloom is glow. It makes your photos look soft and dreamy, which I'm a big fan of, and that's how you get that dreamy look, it's with bloom. There is a setting inside of Lightroom that is very similar to the bloom effect if you don't have this plugin. In general, if I lower the clarity, it will make the photo softer, and if I lower the dehaze, it will make the photo more dreamy. It kind of gets applied to the entire image, so sometimes in order to balance the photo and make it look not like too fairy tale looking, I had to add some contrast. That's the thing with doing it inside of Lightroom. It requires more effort because you have to figure out the perfect numbers to make it, you know, dreamy yet realistic, versus in Dehancer, all I really have to do is to apply the effect and it already looks so much better. Like there's already, like I don't have to change a lot because the default settings are great. It just adds a tiny bit, but enough for the photo to get that dreamy feeling. Dehancer also have a phone app that is pretty much the exact same as this and the video plugin. Same tools, same default settings, same interface. Yeah, pretty much identical. If you don't have a computer with you, or if you work from a stationary computer like an iMac, this can definitely come in handy. I still wouldn't recommend this app for majority of your photo. You should edit your photos in something like Lightroom. You can use the phone app for that, and I believe that's free. Then when your photo is 90% done, then you can, you know, open the Dehancer photo app and add this film look. To conclude this, I really do like the Dehancer plugin. I do think that halation, bloom, and maybe the film profiles are the only tools you really need, because the other things, you can just do that in any other photo editing app. The film profile is helpful when you get stuck and need inspiration with the direction you want to go with your photo. What I wish was different was having everything inside one app. I don't know if this is possible even, but the fact that you need to have Lightroom open and then choose to edit in the Dehancer plugin every time and then wait for it to open up, it's just, yeah, I wish it was easier, but is it possible? I don't know. I also wish there was a way to edit multiple photos at a time, or a way to save or copy your settings and just apply them to several photos, because it takes a long time to do one photo at a time and having to redo the same numbers, the same settings if you want a consistent style. With that being said, I do think the Dehancer plugin is a great way to get that authentic film look. And if you decide to purchase this, then you can get 10% off with my code MAYBACKFILMS. If you have any questions at all, please comment below or DM me on Instagram. Don't be shy, don't be a stranger. I love talking to you guys, so yeah, just do it. And that was the video. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.